Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the Master 1525 V659. This is a typical combination style padlock. Incredibly common. If you've gone to high school, you've probably owned more than one of these. So you're probably familiar with it. This is the type that will have a key override on the back. Very typical in high schools, obviously. Engraved coded information on there that tells the factory some information about how this operates. This is the 1525, the classic, the ubiquitous combination style padlock. The slip sleeve on the inside is going to include the combination, okay, and other instructions. This padlock happens to start with rotating it to the right. 3 turns or so will clear it. 38, 16, 34, turning it to the right. Okay, just all those cool kids would just do it with the thumb. So it was 38, 16, 38. Yeah, 38. 38 to the right. 16, you go past 0 and stop at 16. And then you go past 0 one time to 34. That will allow that to open. Not very high security. These are, you can stick a, not very high security is what these are. Typical applications, of course. Locker rooms, lockers, whatever it might be, the application. Now we can derive as to how many possible theoretical combinations there are. You've got 3 combinations and you have 40 combinations. So 40 to the 3rd power is how many theoretical changes there could be. So 40 to the 3rd power is 64,000 possible different combinations. Now that's not accurate because there would sure be numbers, like you couldn't have a combination that was 111 and then the next one 112. You could, but a 1 and the 2 in the 3rd position, those are going to kind of work each other. So I don't know how many they discard out of the 64,000 possibilities. It's probably a relatively substantial number. I would think it's going to be somewhere in the range of probably 40%. So there ought to be, at least my opinion, would be 350,000 changes out of these, but I don't know. I don't know what the limitations are. And what's really interesting about a padlock like this is you're turning wheels on the back, and there are 3 of them because you have 3 combinations. Like on a safe that has 3 wheels, and that dial goes up to 100. You've got 100 to the 3rd power is how many potential combinations that you'll have. Is how that works. Yeah, 1 million theoretical combinations, of course, 100 to the 3rd power. So how many they can actually derive, I don't know. But these wheels, they turn. And the wheel is... Probably in this, it would be shaped like a silver dollar. It would have a cutout on the outside perimeter. That would be called the gate. Each wheel has a gate cut in it. And when you rotate the dial, you are moving the wheel pack one at a time. I believe you're moving the furthest one first. And as you rotate it to the other way, that back wheel picks up the next wheel and then rotates it into alignment. Then when you go right again, you're manipulating the wheel closest to the face of the unit, is I believe how this works. And once you've got the proper combination set, the numerals, which are related to where the gate is positioned on the outside perimeter of the wheel, you'll then have them all lined up where the fence can then drop in. And as you pull on the padlock itself, it will allow the shackle to release. I don't know that that's how this works, but that's how wheel pack locks work, or that's the theory behind it. So pretty typical and common. Weighs 0.37 pound. Diameter of the body, about 1 7/8 inches. Thickness of the body itself looks like it's about 3/4 inch. To the back side of the knob looks like it's about 1 1/4 inches. Overall height with the shackle in the closed position, about 3 inch. What's really most important about padlocks, key operated or otherwise, would be the diameter of the shackle, which is 0.28 inch, 0.28. The inside dimension, which is 0.81, 0.81, and then the inside height. And that's curved, so we're going to be somewhat approximate. Say about 0.865 inch. 0.865 is the ID. Okay. Let's switch to the screen view now, and let's take a closer look at a little bit of supporting documentation. If you are enjoying this video, please click thumbs up or like, and also please consider subscribing to our channel. Let's move on to the rest of the video. Here is the item that we are looking at. Some images, the part number, the reference to the key number for the override, just showing you the back end flipped upside down to show you the engraving. That's all important. That should you ever needed to service these locks or to obtain original combinations, that is possible, although the process requires a substantial amount of vetting. Combinations can be recovered. Little red dot there. Okay, that's our fence. Well, I don't know I don't know that that's the fence, but I've never tried to take one of these apart or destructively take one apart in order to examine the internal components. So there is a link below this video here to the cut sheet. Pretty handy document. It's just going to show you an overview of the 1525 inch and 7/8 stainless body, dimensional properties, 3/4 inch vertical clearance, which we've checked, and showing you here that it has the key override on the back. Okay. There's also a link below this video here to the manufacturer's page, where you can pull up not only all of the master products that we sell by means of this horizontal navigation, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the current product catalog and all product catalogs that we have, prior versions of them as well. There's also a technical manual that's here, which is really handy if you're doing any work with master. While I have found that not every answer is in this manual, I have been able to understand the product line better because of the publication of this manual, and in particular how their keying works, how their keying system works. They do have serrated bottom and driver pins, so if you're trying to shim one of their cylinders open and you realize that took me an extra 12 seconds, sure, it's because of the serrated driver pins. You'll want to be careful not to turn the key over 180 degrees, otherwise you will lose your pins, your bottom pins through the holes in the bottom of the chamber, and that is how you combinate the unit. So, you know, they'll come out if you want them to. They'll come out if you don't want them to, if you don't have that covered with your finger. So be mindful of that, which is right down here. No reason to disassemble the cylinder is what I'm trying to say. I have used this catalog with great success to be able to talk about their different key blanks, is why I'm scrolling like this. I've had clients send me email photographs of their key blanks, and I've been able to determine the part number by using this. Okay, pretty handy stuff. Also, I find that when I speak to Master Lock, which isn't very often, but when I do, they have a expert knowledge of not only their product line, but in locksmithing principles in general. Also, Master Lock keys and keyways. That is just a breakout page. I refer to it so often I have it broken out from the entire manual. There's also a glossary here, definitions and terminology, that applies to the greater world of locksmithing as it pertains specifically to the world of master. Let's wrap up this video on camera. In conclusion, a very nice quality piece of equipment, even though it's quite typical and common. We sell mostly of the master line the replacement master keys, the operating keys for these units. Now be mindful, ordering that is going to require information that the factory will absolutely be keeping on file The people who buy these are hospitals and mostly schools, other installations that are known to have an installation of lockers or a requirement of padlocks. So if you order a master key, your information is absolutely being submitted to the factory on that order. And in fact, it's the only way that they'll execute the order. So they absolutely have a paper trail of where that material was sent to. If you're a school, you're an installation that has an application of padlocks, and you need master keys, absolutely go right ahead and order them. There are times when the factory does not fulfill that order, and it's because it's going to someone's home or someone who has possibly no need to possess a master key. Any questions on the 1525 V659 combination padlock or any other master product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you very much. Again, thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up. Please subscribe and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.